If you've been feeling stuck these days, like especially since after that big old eclipse that happened on April 8th, I live in Florida, and so recently on the 23rd of April, like 2 days ago, because this is the 25th, we just had a very intense full moon that brought energy clearing and timeline shifts to those who are ready to make the shift. So if you've been feeling stuck, it's probably because you didn't make the shift. It's probably because you didn't make the shift. It's probably because you are still holding on to what you need to let go of in order to make that shift. The way I was thinking about it that night, I made that shift consciously that night, and I did a lot of crying. I did a lot of hugging myself. I did a lot of, it's almost like I was looking into my soul. It was one point I was talking to myself in the mirror, telling myself it's okay to let go. And it was like I was staring at my soul. Like, I'm looking at my body, but I was looking at my soul. You get what I mean? And it brought me so much peace and comfort, but I was still a little bit afraid. Like, there was some anxiety. Like, if you're feeling anxiety anytime you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna move forward, and then you feel that anxiety, listen to your intuition, because this feeling of being stuck is your intuition. That's my cat trying to get comfortable. But if you're feeling stuck, that's your intuition nudging you, trying to push you to make that shift. And no, this is what I was about to say. The way I viewed it, right, it's like my mind painted a mental picture of me making the shift. And so the way I imagined it is, God has just opened the door for you. The door is wide open, and you can just walk through. The way I felt it is, you're standing right in front of the wide open door, looking at what's to come, because your emotions are a guide. When you feel those intense feelings of satisfaction, like me that night, that I told myself, when I wake up this morning, in the morning, I will be on a brand new timeline. And so that night, it was almost like I was looking straight at what's behind the door, and I felt so much peace, and I just felt so heavenly. I felt so amazing. Like, I was like I felt it. Like, I knew that there was nothing but beautiful opportunities behind that door, nothing bad at all. And I knew it. I know that is what lies for me. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm not gonna speak too much. And never ever tell people what God has plans for you. Like, that's number one. Keep that to yourself, because not everybody who you tell things to wants you to get what God is. Some people have monitoring spirits, okay? Some people have demons and negative energy attached to them, and so they don't want you to succeed. But anyways, yeah, I was scared, because it was like, whoa, this shit is, excuse me, God, this stuff is, I've been trying not to use so much profanity in my videos, but I was like, whoa, things are really about to go down in a good way in this timeline. And so there was some anxiety, because in a minute, for a second, I thought to myself, what if this isn't true? But then always remember this, consciously always remember that anxiety just means that you're lacking some trust in something. And so I instantly brushed that anxiety under the rug, because I'm like, I trust in God, I trust in myself. And yeah, I told myself, okay, I'm sacrificing this way. Well, not this way, because you know what I'm saying, I've been reborn, I've evolved. But the way that I used to live, and I'm gonna get into that, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get into that, because oh my god, okay, the way that I was living in that previous timeline, I told myself loud and clear, I said, I love you. I'm so grateful for how far you have brought me. I'm so grateful that you have delivered me to this moment where I'm able to make this shift. But let me tell you something, the way that we used to do things in that previous timeline is not gonna work in this one. And the wind is blowing out of nowhere, and I'm taking that as a confirmation. And even the energy that I'm feeling right now in my body, like I'm feeling all tingly in my fingers. You gotta listen to your body, because your body is gonna tell you, based off the way you feel, if you're moving in the right direction or not. If you're not feeling too good, you're not going in the right direction. If you're feeling great, if you're feeling positive, if your energy is feeling light, keep going that way and keep doing the things that's gonna make you feel that way. That's what I'm about to talk about, so bear with me real quick. But Yeah, I told myself, listen, you was feeling stuck because you want to live the same way you've been living in this new timeline, and that's not gonna cut it. That we gotta cut that out. The old way we used to live, we not doing that no more. We gotta let that all go. We gotta let it go. Anything that is not gonna serve my highest good in this new timeline, we gotta let it go. And so you might be feeling stuck because you're here with these bags in your hand, showing up at the door like, okay, I'm ready to take all this with me into this new timeline. And your intuition is telling you, no, you ain't.
I'm ready.
No, you ain't.
I don't think so. You're not coming in here with that. You better leave that at the door and come in here empty-handed. And that's what I was trying to get into as well. You have to enter this new timeline empty-handed, so that way you can receive all that is meant for you to receive in this timeline. Because say you walk in and your soul is not gonna let you walk in with anything but experiences and lessons and knowledge. Anything that is not serving you in this timeline, you're gonna continue to feel stuck every time you try and walk through that door, because your soul is not gonna let it happen. Your soul is like, absolutely not. You gotta let go of that baggage, that dead weight, before you step through this door into this new timeline. And so you have to let that stuff go, because when you show up empty-handed, you can receive all that you need to receive, all that is meant for you in this timeline. You'll be able to hold it all and take it with you and receive it. But you got to be in that receptive energy. And the way that you enter that receptive energy, number one is to let go. Number one is to release any and all expectations. Number one is to be in the present moment. I keep saying number one and I'm doing like my fingers counting. And then the last thing is to just flow with life. If your intuition is nudging you to let go of something, let it go. Let it go, and trust that it's either going to be returned to you in a much greater form, or it's going to be replaced by something better than you could have ever imagined. I don't know about y'all, but my God is a good God. I always say that. Nothing is ever lost. You don't ever lose anything. Allow God to transform your life, literally. That's what he did with mine. But what I was gonna say regarding letting go is, now that I've entered this new timeline, right, I went ahead and I did this kind of like, I don't know why, it was kind of like it's like I felt like I tried to backtrack, right? I tried to do things that I used to do in that previous timeline in this new one today, right? And so I got on my computer, like, genuinely speaking, like, I usually like to play my game, and I got on my computer. I wasn't even on there for as long as I usually be on there, but it's like I instantly just was not feeling fulfilled. Like, my brain just felt flat, if that makes sense. Like, and like I've been saying throughout this whole video, listen to the way your body feels, listen to your bodily sensations, listen to your feelings and your emotions, because that is a guide. When you're feeling good when doing something, then that shows you that you're doing something right. When you're feeling not so good, you're not doing the right thing. And sometimes, let me say that you might have things that come up where it's like, for example, letting go. You might say, oh, I feel sad to let this go. But that's why it's also important to use your discernment when it comes to your bodily feelings, because you might feel sad to let something go, and so you might say to yourself, oh, then I shouldn't let this go because it feels sad to let it go. No, use your discernment, use your intuition to figure out what it is that your emotions and your bodily sensations are telling you. I do want to say that right now, because some people might be saying, oh, it hurts to let this thing go, so I shouldn't let it go. And like, no, let it go now if you're trying to make that shift. But yeah, I was playing the game for all about 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half, and like when I got off the game, I felt finally like I started to feel good again. The minute I got off that game, I was like, fine. It's like I told myself, finally. And I thought that was weird, because I love that game. I love that game, but in this timeline, that game is not about to be taking up majority of my day no more. Absolutely not. And so instead of playing that game, I came outside and I did a crossword puzzle for about an hour and a half, right? So I played the game for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I did the crossword puzzle for about an hour and a half. And in that same amount of time, I felt more fulfilled doing that crossword puzzle. Actually, it was a word search. I felt more fulfilled doing that than looking at my screen like I used to in that previous timeline. So what I feel like this timeline is nudging, what I feel like my intuition is nudging me to do in this timeline is to spend more time with myself, get rid of those distractions. I don't use social media, you guys. I know in my description, I wonder if you guys read the description, I always leave a quote of the day in the description, and sometimes the quote of the day of the previous video will be what the new video is about. But yeah, I always leave a quote of the day, so go check it out if you want to. But I don't use social media, but I do watch YouTube videos and Netflix like all day long, or I used to. And I'm being nudged to cut that out. I'm being nudged to let go of that, because that's not going to serve me in this timeline. That's not going to benefit me in this timeline. That's only going to slow me down in this timeline. Using my energy, using my time to watch like videos on the internet, and like and I don't mean any kind of, I mean like the videos that I watch, which is like movies and like gaming videos and stuff like that. That's not benefiting me, nor is it's mindless entertainment. And so that's why I felt more fulfilled, because even when doing the word search puzzle, not only was I using my brain and actually having to use my brain to think of the words and actually pay attention, I also felt very entertained. Like, I honestly wasn't about to record this video because I wanted to keep doing word search puzzles. But I was like, let me come out here and record this video. But that's all that I have for this video. Like, pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys is to make the shift. You're not stuck. You're just refusing to let go. You're not listening to your intuition. You're not stuck. You're just telling yourself that you feel stuck. But it's really just an illusion. You just gotta make the shift, love. I'm telling you. And you're gonna feel so much lighter. It's gonna feel scary, but the minute you get over it, like that, in an instant, when you realize that this is something good for you, when you realize that this shift is going to bring you closer to your most wildest dreams imaginable, when you finally tell yourself that and you say, okay, I'm gonna make this shift, and you stand on business, you're gonna feel, it's gonna feel like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh, things just feel good. Things just feel good to me. Like, I'm not really worrying. And that's another thing. Like, when I was on the computer, I was in my head a lot. Like, it just felt like I was doing something wrong. And the wrong thing I was doing was using my energy on things that don't fill my cup back up. So always pay attention to your energy. Always pay attention to your feelings and the way your body feels when you do something, the way you feel when you do something, and use your discernment and listen to your intuition, okay? I wanted you guys to practice that if you don't practice that already. And yeah, I know you can do it. I know you can let go of what you need to let go, because I know that you know deep down inside that it's good for you to let go of that stuff. You know deep down inside you cannot walk through that door with all them damn bags. So drop the ones that you don't need. Let go of all that dead weight and walk through that door empty-handed, and be ready to receive blessings on top of blessings, on top of opportunities, on top of new experiences, on top of life lessons. Be ready to receive, because it's coming as soon as you walk through that door. That's all that I have for this video. I hope you guys really did enjoy, and I will see y'all in my next one. Until next time, bye friends.